Well, thank you very much for having me here. It's the first time we are attending the ITMC in Miami. And one of the main reasons why we are here, we've been kindly invited by Hugo and Nabil, is to make sure we work together. I'm here to share a little bit of what the telcos are doing in certain parts of the world, and mainly also in Belgium. Good. Now, I'm going to talk today about what's going on mainly in the developing markets and also a little bit in the emerging markets. I'm going to talk about what we are doing also globally and what we can do together in order to achieve this globally. Just a few words about us. I'm quite sure that most of you don't know us, as we are one of the most, how would I say that, behind-the-scene kind of actor for a telecommunications operator. We run networks. We have cable investments in 45 submarine cables in the world. We use quite a lot of the satellite networks. When you switch on, for instance, your mobile phone number, all the people from Latin America here in the US, you've got all these little signals going over to say you can roam here, you can place calls, you can receive calls, send SMSs. We are one of the largest players behind the scenes to do such things. We also have a huge IP exchange for mobile operators where you surf on your mobile phone. There's probably a big chance it go through our network. We have a lot of hubs, like we call it, an SMS hub. For instance, if you're in China, you would like to send an SMS to, for instance, France, there's a big chance it goes over our network. So we're owned by mobile operators. The MTN group is one of the largest mobile operator groups in Africa, 21 opcos in the region there. Swisscom is another shareholder, and our majority shareholder is Belgacom, my main mother company. Having said that, we serve over 600 carriers worldwide, and we are always behind the scene. We don't touch to the retail or the corporate, but we are serving those carriers behind the scene. Now, I like this slide because it's not a slide built by very intelligent consultants, by bankers. Now, the bankers usually go into the details because these are investor bankers, because they want to sell and they need to try and find the market as it should be. What we do see there is that on the right side, you see technology, software technology, B2B services, and consumer services geared for mobile operator. On the left side, all these technologies, these service providers, and the services are geared to the financial institution focus. Now, we've been talking about the complexity of this ecosystem. It is indeed complex. You've got a tremendous amount of players dealing with these matters. And if you fill it up with a few logos, it gives you that kind of mismatch of players. Now, every player in every segmentation has this role in it. And it's, of course, not easy to find the right solution and the right way in order to implement certain strategies in order to serve your consumer the best way possible. Now, let's forget all this slideware. We've seen quite a lot of information this morning, so let's go more into the deep of the real practical things we've done, for instance, in the world and mainly in Belgium, to show you some examples. There are tremendous initiatives in the world. There are more than 110 mobile deployments in the southern hemisphere. These are usually the receiving entities. So this is where you send money to, actually, okay? In the northern hemisphere, it's more a new thing, actually. And why is it a new thing? Because everybody has credit cards, everybody has bank accounts, and you don't need a mobile phone, to be frank, to do transactions. So the take-up is a lot slower over there. However, we see quite a lot of movements the last year and the years to come. We see collaborative models where banks and mobile operators are coming together. You see it in the Netherlands with the six-pack. The three major telcos are coming together with the three major banks. You see it here in the United States with ISIS. You see it in different other regions, in France also, in Belgium, etc. Now, having said so, we said it already earlier this morning, it's a different story if you are in the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere, or in an emerging market or in a developed market. Now, how did we tackle that, actually? Technology is there to help you, but shouldn't be the driving force. What the driving force is the seamless for your consumer, and this is what we try to find out for our consumers in the markets we are playing, or mother companies are playing a big role. SMS is currently frequently used. We are using today NFC tags or stickers in order to do transactions, which you just stick on any phone. It's compatible with any phone, okay? So whatever you buy, you can stick it on it, and it works. And we are looking forward, of course, to the new generation technology, which is more embedded or not into the phones. Now, we've implemented since a few years quite some solution in Belgium, okay? I'll show you a few examples on how it works, how the consumer is experiencing this whole ecosystem. And this is extremely important, is not to build just one service or a solution. The consumer, the customer needs to have and use it almost everywhere, and this is very important. I'll give you the example of my little son. Some of you know this story, but it's quite a nice example how it works. About over a year ago, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was in a meeting and I received an SMS from my younger son. He was 12, now 13. And he said, "Daddy, I forgot my pocket money and I forgot totally that mommy is not picking me up. I don't have any money for the bus. What do I do?" ? So I was a bit annoyed and said, okay, how do we solve that? So we just launched actually a solution called Ping Ping, and I sent them on the fly a €5 amount, and on the fly his mobile wallet was created on his wallet on his phone, and he could pay his bus ticket with it. Now, my son is on our network, which is Proximus, Belgacom Mobile. The funny thing was that he sent me 2 seconds later an SMS to thank me and say, "But Daddy, I'm here with my girlfriend, and I want to bring her home because we need to do some homework together. How's it?" I said, "Okay, give me the number of your girlfriend." So I sent her also some money, and on the fly, her mobile wallet was also created, and she could do the transaction. Now, the interesting point about it is that she wasn't on Belgacom Mobile or Proximus network, but she was on a competitor's network, and it worked also. So this is where you got a sort of viralization or a very easy way in order to implement and use things. So it's one solution, what we wanted to create for remote and proximity payments. It works on any network. It's very agnostic, and it works. Let me show you how that is. Now, the Ping Ping solution is actually a stored value account where you can upload it through prepayments, okay? How can you do that? By a simple bank transfer. You can link into your postpaid bill subscription through a credit card. All of that is possible. You can also do direct debit from your bank account to your stored value account or your Ping Ping account and then do the transaction. So it's completely seamless, and you can pay quite a lot of things with it. And this is extremely important. It's not only for person-to-person transfer, like I did with my son and his girlfriend, but it's mainly also enabled with merchants, with transportation companies, etc. The ticketing, the couponing, the loyalty programs can also be attached to it, so you combine everything into one single entity. And how you access it, is it through USSD, is it through the web, is it through SMS, or even GPS, where we are trying certain things with, it doesn't matter, it works all, okay? We've connected it also to HomeSend, and I'll talk to you about that for international remittances. Now, this is the dashboard, for instance, of someone who has a Ping Ping account. It's just like a bank account. Now, the great thing about it is that you can go into granularity where you can do also meal vouchers, you can check up your loyalty points, you can do a tremendous amount of things. And everything is centrally located, and it's linked to your MSISDN, which is your mobile phone number. Okay? Now, this is your balance is zero. Why is your balance zero? Because it's directly linked to your bank account, and the money, the float, sits on your bank account. Okay? You can have prepaid accounts, that's also possible on that one, or link it to your post-bill subscription of your mobile operators. Now, let me give you some examples where it really works well, where we have implemented that in about 20 cities in Belgium. Now, Belgium is only 10 million people, so it's not a big city, but it's a very complex country with a lot of cultures and languages, etc. So the 20 cities are mainly in the Flemish part, which is the north part, a little bit in Brussels and a few in the south part. And we did a tremendous amount of transactions already, we do think, in 2010. As from 2011, I think we're going to quadruple the transactions amount. We have 500 unique users who are using it regularly. Let me show you an example on how it works. This is the in-house parking solution. By the way, this is Mr. Ping. Mr. Ping uses his sticker, NFC sticker, to authenticate himself, to enter into the parking. This is what we call Belgium driving. And this is a project which is relatively new. We've implemented that in 10 locations in Brussels. It's where you can also load, at the same time while you park, your electric cars. And he gets a message with the amount he had to pay. And then with the same system he entered, he gets out of the parking slot also.